Welcome. I'm really glad you are here. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Then gently breathe out through your mouth. There's nothing you have to do right now. Just be in this moment. Right here. Right now. There comes a season in many people's lives when it feels like everyone else is moving forward while we remain standing still. Someone buys a home. Someone finds love. Someone starts a business. Someone retires early. Someone appears to have discovered exactly who they are and where they are going. Meanwhile, we look at our own lives and quietly wonder if we have missed something. We begin measuring ourselves against milestones we see around us. We count accomplishments, compare timelines, and question whether we should be further along by now. The difficult part is that comparison only shows us what is visible. We see other people's branches. We rarely see their roots. And because we cannot see what is happening beneath the surface, we often assume that nothing meaningful is happening beneath our own. But life is not always preparing us through visible growth. Sometimes life is preparing us through invisible growth. And invisible growth is still growth. Let's explore more of this idea today. Imagine a young tree growing at the edge of a forest. If you walk past it each day, you might barely notice any change at all. Week after week, month after month, it appears small compared to the towering trees around it. Nearby plants seem to shoot upward effortlessly. Wildflowers bloom and fade. Fast-growing saplings stretch toward the sunlight. Meanwhile, this young tree appears to be taking its time. From the outside, it might even look as though it is falling behind. But something remarkable is happening beneath the surface. While other plants are directing most of their energy upward, this tree is directing much of its energy downward. Its roots spread quietly through the darkness of the soil. They search for water. They navigate around rocks. They reach into spaces no one can see. They create connections with the earth that will one day support a much larger life above ground. The tree is not wasting time. The tree is preparing. Every inch of root creates stability. Every root creates access to nourishment. Every root creates the ability to withstand future storms. And perhaps most importantly, every root increases the tree's capacity to grow taller later. Because the purpose of roots is not simply to help a tree grow. The purpose of roots is to help a tree survive its growth. Without strong roots, height becomes dangerous. A tree that grows too quickly without developing a stable foundation, becomes vulnerable. The very thing that appears impressive can become the thing that causes it to fall when strong winds arrive. Human lives often follow a similar pattern. We tend to focus on visible growth. We notice promotions, relationships, accomplishments, recognition, financial success, and major milestones. Those are the branches everyone can see. They are easy to measure and easy to compare. But some of the most important growth happens in places that are invisible to everyone except us. The years spent healing from old wounds. The years spent learning how to trust ourselves. The years spent rebuilding after disappointment. The years spent discovering that our worth is not dependent on achievement. The years spent learning how to say no without guilt. The years spent becoming comfortable with who we are when no one is applauding. These seasons rarely look impressive from the outside. In fact, they can feel frustrating. While everyone else appears to be moving forward, we may feel stuck. We may wonder why life seems slower for us. We may question whether we are doing something wrong. Yet many of these seasons are not periods of stagnation. They are periods of construction. Life is strengthening the foundation before adding another floor. Life is deepening the roots before expanding the branches. Sometimes what feels like standing still is actually preparation. Sometimes what feels like a detour is actually development. Sometimes what feels like being left behind is simply a season where growth is happening underground. The challenge, of course, is that roots require trust. The tree cannot see the future, height those roots will support. It simply continues growing them. And we often find ourselves in the same position. We may not yet understand why a particular season is unfolding the way it is. We may not see how today's struggles connect to tomorrow's opportunities. We may not recognize how much stronger, wiser, or more resilient we are becoming. But beneath the surface, something is changing. The roots are spreading. The foundation is strengthening. And the person you are becoming is quietly preparing for branches that have not yet appeared. When we feel left behind, we usually ask one question: what do I want to receive? We think about the relationship we want, the opportunity we want, the financial security we want, the success we want. The life we imagine will finally make us feel settled, fulfilled, or complete. There is nothing wrong with these desires. They are part of being human. We naturally look toward the future and imagine what might be possible. But life often seems to ask a second question at the very same time. What are you becoming capable of holding? Those two questions are deeply connected, yet they are not always answered at the same pace. We may want love, But are we developing the communication, self-awareness, and emotional resilience needed to sustain a healthy relationship? We may want success, but are we developing the discipline, adaptability, and patience required to manage it well? We may want greater freedom, but are we becoming capable of handling the responsibility that freedom requires? We may want our dreams to arrive immediately, while life is quietly preparing us to receive them in a way that can last. Many people receive opportunities before they are prepared to sustain them. Relationships, success, money, influence, responsibility. From a distance, it can appear that they have everything they ever wanted. Yet without strong roots, even beautiful things can become overwhelming. A relationship can become a source of fear if we have not learned to trust ourselves. Success can become exhausting if our self-worth depends on achievement. Money can create new pressures if we have not developed healthy habits around it. Influence can magnify insecurities that were already present beneath the surface. The branches arrive, but the roots are not yet deep enough to support them. This is why some of life's greatest gifts can also become some of life's greatest challenges. Not because the opportunity was wrong, but because growth and capacity had not yet caught up with the opportunity itself. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually reinforcement. Sometimes what feels like a closed door is an invitation to strengthen something within ourselves first. Life is not only preparing the opportunity, life is preparing the person who will receive it. And that preparation often happens in ways we do not immediately recognize. Through disappointments that teach resilience, through mistakes that teach wisdom, through uncertainty that teaches trust, through challenges that reveal strengths we never knew we possessed. The goal is not simply to reach something. The goal is to become someone capable of carrying it well. Because eventually life asks all of us the same question. Not only, what do you want to receive? But when it arrives, can you hold it? Can you nurture it? Can you protect it? Can you grow with it? That is the work of the roots. And often, that is the work happening during the very seasons when we believe nothing is happening at all. Imagine 2 trees planted in the same field on the very same day. Both begin as small saplings reaching toward the sunlight. Both receive the same rain, experience the same seasons, and stand beneath the same sky. Yet over time, they choose very different paths of growth. One tree directs nearly all of its energy upward. It grows rapidly, stretching higher and higher each year. Before long, it towers above the surrounding landscape. From a distance, it appears successful. It is noticeable, impressive, easy to admire. Anyone walking by would likely assume this tree is thriving. The second tree grows more slowly. While its branches do continue to reach toward the sky, much of its energy is devoted to something invisible. Beneath the surface, its roots spread outward through the earth. They grow deeper, wider, stronger. Year after year, this tree appears less remarkable than its taller neighbor. It does not attract as much attention. It does not seem to be progressing as quickly. If we judge these trees only by what we could see, we might conclude that one is clearly winning. And for a while, it may even seem true. But life has a way of eventually asking a different question. One day, dark clouds gather on the horizon. The wind begins to rise. Rain falls, thunder rolls across the sky. A powerful storm arrives, stronger than anything either tree has experienced before. Suddenly, height is no longer the most important measure. Visibility is no longer the most important measure. Speed is no longer the most important measure. The question changes completely. The question is no longer which tree grew faster. The question becomes which tree can remain standing. This is often how life works for us as well. There are seasons when success appears to belong to those who move the fastest, achieve the most, or accumulate the greatest number of visible accomplishments. From the outside, it can seem as though life is rewarding speed above all else. But eventually, every life encounters storms. Loss arrives, plans change, relationships end, dreams shift. Unexpected challenges appear without warning. Not because we have done something wrong, not because we are being punished, but because challenge is part of being human. The storms of life are not exceptions to the journey. They are part of the journey. And it is often during these moments that we discover what was being built beneath the surface all along. The confidence developed through years of self-reflection. The resilience developed through previous setbacks. The patience developed through waiting. The wisdom developed through mistakes. The self-trust developed through uncertainty. These qualities rarely attract attention while they are forming. They are not easily measured. They do not generate applause. Yet, when the winds begin to blow, they become invaluable. A storm reveals what calm weather cannot. It reveals the strength of the roots. Many of the qualities that matter most in life remain invisible until they are tested. Courage is difficult to recognize until fear appears. Resilience is difficult to recognize until hardship arrives. Self-trust is difficult to recognize until uncertainty demands a decision. And perhaps that is why some of the seasons that feel slow, frustrating, or uneventful are actually preparing us in profound ways. Because when the storm eventually comes, the goal is not simply to have grown tall. The goal is to have grown strong. The goal is not simply to have accumulated branches. The goal is to have developed roots capable of supporting them. And when the winds finally pass, It is often the tree with the deepest roots that remains standing beneath the open sky, stronger than before, ready for the next season of growth. Imagine walking through an ancient forest. As you look around, you notice towering pines reaching high into the sky. Nearby stands a massive oak with wide, powerful branches extending in every direction. A maple tree displays its own unique beauty, while younger saplings quietly grow beneath the canopy. What makes the forest beautiful is not that every tree looks the same. What makes the forest beautiful is that each tree grows according to its own nature. An oak does not spend spring comparing itself to a pine. A maple does not panic because another tree is taller. A young sapling does not assume it has failed because it has not yet reached the height of a 100-year-old tree standing nearby. Each tree grows according to its design. Each tree grows according to its season. Each tree develops at the pace required by its own journey. Yet humans often do the exact opposite. We spend enormous amounts of energy comparing ourselves to people whose paths were never meant to look like ours in the first place. Different backgrounds, different opportunities, different challenges, different strengths, different wounds, different dreams, different lessons, different timelines. And somehow, despite all of those differences, we convince ourselves that our growth should look exactly like theirs. We see someone else's accomplishment and wonder why we have not reached the same destination. We see someone else's relationship and question our own timing. We see someone else's success and quietly conclude that we must be falling behind. But comparison rarely tells the full story. What we often compare is the visible part of someone else's life to the invisible part of our own. We compare our doubts to their confidence, our struggles to their achievements, our behind-the-scenes reality to the version of themselves they choose to share with the world. We compare our beginning to someone else's middle. We compare our chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 12. And then we wonder why the comparison feels painful. Of course it feels painful. We are measuring journeys that were never designed to be measured against one another. The oak is not late because it is not a pine. The pine is not failing because it does not look like a maple. And you are not behind simply because your path looks different from someone else's. In many ways, comparison asks the wrong question. Comparison asks, why am I not growing like them? Why am I not moving as fast as them? Why do I not have what they have? But there is a far more meaningful question available to us. What kind of tree am I becoming? That question changes everything. Because once we begin asking it, our attention shifts away from other people's timelines and back toward our own growth. Instead of focusing on what someone else has built, we begin noticing what we are building. Instead of measuring speed, we begin measuring depth. Instead of chasing someone else's definition of success, we begin discovering our own. And perhaps that is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. The freedom to stop trying to become another tree. The freedom to trust our own season. The freedom to believe that our journey does not need to look like anyone else's in order to be meaningful. Because the forest was never meant to be filled with identical trees, and life was never meant to be filled with identical stories. Your task is not to grow according to someone else's timeline. Your task is to become fully, beautifully, and authentically yourself. And once you begin focusing on that, comparison slowly starts to lose its power. Not because other people stop growing, but because you finally become invested in your own growth again. One of the most comforting truths about growth is that it is often happening during moments that seem completely ordinary. We tend to imagine transformation as something dramatic. We picture breakthrough moments, life-changing opportunities, or sudden realizations that instantly alter the course of our lives. We assume that growth should feel significant while it is happening. But when we look closely at how trees grow, or how people grow, a different picture begins to emerge. Growth is usually much quieter than we expect. It happens in small decisions, small actions, small moments that may not seem important at the time. A difficult conversation becomes a root. A new skill becomes a root. A healthy boundary becomes a root. A moment of courage becomes a root. A choice to keep going after disappointment becomes a root. Choosing to rest instead of pushing yourself beyond exhaustion becomes a root. Learning from a mistake becomes a root. Showing kindness when bitterness would be easier becomes a root. Trusting yourself enough to take one small step forward becomes a root. Most of these moments do not feel extraordinary. In fact, many of them feel repetitive. They feel ordinary, unremarkable. Sometimes they even feel frustrating because the results are not immediately visible. We make a healthier choice and nothing seems different. We practice a new habit and nothing seems different. We spend months healing, learning, growing, and reflecting. Yet our external circumstances may appear exactly the same. It is easy during these periods to believe that we are not making progress. Yet roots have never grown all at once. They grow one small extension at a time. A fraction of an inch today, another fraction tomorrow, slowly creating a network of strength beneath the surface. Human growth often follows the same pattern. The future version of you is not being created by one extraordinary breakthrough. It is being shaped by hundreds of ordinary moments that most people will never see. The future version of you is being formed by the books you read when nobody is watching, the choices you make when no one is applauding, the habits you practice when motivation is low, the ways you respond to disappointment, uncertainty, and challenge. The quiet promises you keep to yourself. The future version of you is being built long before the visible results arrive. This can be difficult to remember because we live in a world that celebrates branches, achievements, milestones, success stories, visible outcomes. Yet branches are only possible because roots existed first. The promotion may arrive years after the discipline was developed. The healthy relationship may arrive years after the healing began. The confidence may arrive years after the self-doubt was first challenged. The visible growth often appears long after the invisible growth has already done its work. That is why it is so important not to dismiss the ordinary days. The ordinary days are where much of life is built. The ordinary days are where character is formed. The ordinary days are where resilience develops. The ordinary days are where roots quietly spread beneath the surface. And perhaps that is why one of the most powerful reminders we can carry with us is this: today's roots are supporting tomorrow's branches. Even if you cannot see the branches yet, even if you do not know exactly what they will look like, even if life feels slow, uncertain, or unfinished, something is still growing. Something is still strengthening. Something is still becoming. And one day, when you look back at this season of your life, you may realize that what appeared to be an ordinary chapter was actually laying the foundation for everything that came next. Eventually, something remarkable begins to happen. The roots that once stretched quietly beneath the soil have become deep and expansive. The trunk that was once thin and vulnerable has grown strong enough to withstand powerful winds. The branches that once reached cautiously toward the sunlight now spread outward with confidence and grace. The tree has become everything it was slowly preparing to become during those unseen years of growth. Yet this is not the end of the story. In many ways, it is the beginning of a new one. Because as the tree grows stronger, more life begins to gather around it. Birds build nests among its branches. Squirrels make homes within its hollow spaces. Animals rest beneath its shade during the hottest days of summer. Countless small creatures find protection, shelter, and nourishment because the tree has become strong enough to support them. Strength creates responsibility, not because strength is a burden, but because everything healthy eventually becomes part of something larger than itself. The tree no longer exists only for its own growth. Its presence contributes to the well-being of the entire forest around it. The stronger it becomes, the more it is capable of holding, the more life begins to flourish in its presence. But there is another lesson hidden here as well. Growth does not end simply because the tree has become large. Even the oldest and strongest trees require care. Small vines can slowly begin, wrapping themselves around healthy branches. Moss can spread across areas that receive little sunlight. Tiny insects can burrow into weakened places within the bark. A small crack created during a storm can gradually widen if it is left unattended. Rarely does a great tree fall all at once. Most decline begins quietly, through small things repeated over long periods of time. The lesson is not to become fearful of those things. The lesson is to remain aware. Because the same attention that helped the tree grow is the attention that helps it remain healthy. The roots still need nourishment. The branches still need care. The balance that allowed the tree to flourish must continue to be maintained season after season. Human growth often works the same way. The boundaries that helped us heal still matter. The habits that strengthened us still matter. The moments of self-reflection that guided us through difficult seasons still matter. The practices that helped us build confidence, resilience, and peace remain important, even after we begin experiencing the rewards of that growth. It is easy to believe that one day we will arrive at a destination where no further tending is required. Yet life seems to work more like a garden than a finish line. There is always something new to nurture, something new to learn, and something new to care for. Perhaps true maturity is not reaching a point where growth is finished. Perhaps true maturity is learning how to continue tending the roots long after the tree has become strong. Because growth is not a destination. It is a relationship, a lifelong relationship with the person we are becoming. And perhaps that is one of the most beautiful truths hidden within the forest. Even the strongest tree continues caring for its roots. Take a slow breath in and gently allow your eyes to close. Imagine yourself standing in a quiet meadow beneath a vast twilight sky. The air is calm. The world feels still. In front of you stands a beautiful young tree. As you move closer, you realize this tree represents your life. Notice its branches. Notice its shape. Notice whatever feels natural to observe. Now imagine looking beneath the surface of the earth. See the roots spreading outward. Some roots were formed through joy, some through challenge, some through lessons you never wanted to learn, some through moments when you thought nothing was happening at all. See every experience becoming part of the foundation. Every disappointment, every act of courage, every time you started over, every time you chose growth instead of giving up. Watch as the roots extend deeper and wider, steady, strong, connected. Now imagine a future version of yourself standing beside this tree. Notice how peaceful they appear. Notice their confidence, their wisdom, their calm presence. Allow them to place a hand on your shoulder and hear them say, "Thank you for continuing when you could not yet see the results. Thank you for growing the roots. I am standing here because of what you chose to do today." Take one more slow breath in and allow yourself to feel the strength beneath your feet. Now, gently open your eyes. As we come to the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a possibility. Perhaps you are not behind. Perhaps you are simply in a season where much of the growth is happening underground. A season where the roots are still spreading. A season where life is building stability before expansion, depth before height, and capacity before opportunity. When we cannot yet see the results we are hoping for, it is easy to assume that nothing is changing. It is easy to believe that we have fallen off course or somehow missed our chance. Yet many of the most important transformations in life begin long before they become visible. The tree never gets to watch its roots grow. It cannot see them reaching deeper into the earth. It cannot observe them navigating around rocks, searching for water, or creating the foundation that will one day support greater height. The tree simply continues growing, trusting a process it cannot fully see. And perhaps we are often being asked to do the same. We may not understand why certain seasons are taking longer than we expected. We may not see how today's challenges connect to tomorrow's opportunities. We may not recognize how much stronger, wiser, more resilient, or more compassionate we are becoming while we are in the middle of the journey. Yet one day, the branches reveal what was happening all along. One day, the confidence appears where self-doubt once lived. One day, the wisdom appears where confusion once existed. One day, the strength appears where struggle once felt overwhelming. And when we look back, we begin to understand that the roots were growing the entire time. So if life feels slow right now, I hope you can offer yourself a little grace. You do not need to grow at someone else's pace. You do not need to follow someone else's timeline. You do not need to become someone else's version of success. The oak was never meant to become a pine. The maple was never meant to become an oak. Each tree fulfills its purpose by becoming more fully what it was designed to be. Perhaps the same is true for you. Your task is not to become another person. Your task is not to build someone else's life. Your task is to become fully, honestly, and authentically yourself. To continue growing in the direction that is uniquely yours. To continue developing roots that can support the life you hope to create. To continue trusting that even when progress feels invisible, growth may still be taking place. So keep growing your roots. Keep trusting your season. Keep showing up for the ordinary days. Keep taking the next small step in front of you. Because today's roots are already supporting tomorrow's branches. Even if you cannot see them yet. And perhaps years from now, when you look back on this chapter, you will realize that what felt like a delay was actually preparation. What felt like standing still was actually becoming. And what felt like being left behind was simply a season of growing the roots that would support everything that came after. Your heart is ready. And whenever you need a reminder, I'll be right here.